I wasn't sure exactly what I was supposed to be looking for. Nobody truly does. But all the intel tells me that I will know it when I see it. The PRKC's military is large and formidable. It only took 3 weeks for them to occupy the entire western half of what was formerly the United States. Swift's followers are fiercely loyal, almost to a mythical degree, and they will do anything for her. And now the entire West is under her control. The only thing that stands between the PRKC land of the West and the Democratic Republic of Mega Carolina, who now control all of the land east of the Mississippi, is the no man's land of the Midwest and Southern State Resistance Forces.
At least I brought everything I owned with me. It's making my trip a lot easier. I'm over this. I'm over this. God dang it.
But reports of the PRKC troops amassing uncomfortably close to Vietnam's borders have been streaming in. Higher-ups were only willing to risk sending one person to recon north of the border into enemy territory. Me. I needed to confirm the reports. I've been out for 5 days now, slowly and methodically making my way north, trying to avoid detection. It's been quiet. Too quiet.
Shotgun with my hair undone in the front seat of his car. He's got a one-hand feel on the steering wheel, the other on my
Hotel Quebec from Juliet, Alpha Kilo Echo 1. We've got hard contact. Approximately 2 9er miles north of Alpha Romeo border. Repeat, hard contact, 2 9er miles north of Alpha Romeo border. Gotta break contact. Gotta break contact. Contact. Oh my God, no, 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 no! One malfunction.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Well, ladies, gentlemen, boys and girls, and everyone else in between, welcome back to the channel. More importantly today, we are at the bench rest of Vitality to shoot another video. It's just me today, a little throwback to the beginning of this channel. What I'm going to be talking about today is this rifle right here. And more specifically on this rifle, I have set this up as a Dissipator. And I'll get to that here in a second. But before I do all that, I've got some cool info. If you've seen my last video, which most of you probably haven't because it got taken down by YouTube, and then I reposted it and it hasn't gotten taken down yet. But before I get to all this stuff, we have a channel sponsor. And that channel sponsor is Ozark Armory here in Springdale. Now, Ozark Armory is a super cool place, very cool shop. As I throw up this beautiful B-roll, you can check it out. Really cool people. They've got everything you could possibly want. The shop has been there for forever, for as long as I can remember. The owners of this place are really cool, very nice, and they've decided to help this channel out this year. So if you guys wouldn't mind, stop by their social medias or stop by their shop, and they've got all the stuff you could possibly want. But please help them, help us, help you, help each other. You know, we're all friends here. But now more on this guy. So this particular gun I've had for quite a while, but not in this configuration. Basically the only thing original on this gun as I got it is the upper receiver, the lower receiver, buffer tube, and stock. Everything else has been swapped out. Now before I go into the main topic of this video, which is the components that make this a Dissipator build, I'll just go over all the other parts on this to give you kind of a rundown on how I've got this set up. Now this gun is kind of a test bed right now of the way I want my rifle set up, so not everything is permanent, but I'm liking how this is running so far, and this has been set up this way for about 2 days now, so we're working it out. So up front here, of course, we got my Griffin Recce 5 suppressor, 556 suppressor, uses the taper mount interface. Under here I have a Griffin flash comp. It's kind of like a war comp, good suppressor host. The barrel, which is, I'm going to get to more here in a second, is a KAK, so KAK Industries, 16-inch barrel with a rifle length gas system. That's where the hole is drilled, is at the rifle length. Okay. Moving on back, the gas tube and the gas block is a KAK adjustable gas block, and then just their standard tube. Of course, I've got my Streamlight here. I am not a rich man, so I love the Streamlight, and I've got this tape switch back here with the Streamlight. Now, I'm kind of doing something interesting. I said this is a test bed. I have a pressure pad here attached to some industrial strength adhesive. See that? So I can kind of move this around as I see fit within reason to kind of see where I want the placement. What I was trying to kind of do is when I get my hand up here, I'm not necessarily hitting that pressure pad, but I can very easily just move my thumb back an inch and get it activated. The reason for that is I've ran pressure pads in the past and I've just killed my battery because I've had it right where my hand goes. Speaking of the rail, kind of, I've got my Geisley rail. This is like a Black Friday deal I got a few years back. I really like this rail. It's very solid. Of course, I got an Arisaka 45-degree mount for the light, BCM hand stop, my absolute favorite multicam wrap, zip ties from Harbor Freight. I love Harbor Freight. The upper, have no idea. No idea what this upper is, doesn't matter. Bought it in 2020 when everyone was panic buying, probably paid too much for it, but it's been fine. Got a Sons of Liberty Gun Works bolt carrier group. That's been nice. A little carbony right now, so you can't read it. There it is. We've got a new Frontier Armory lower Magpul thick boy grip, BCM charging handle, a BCM riser with a primary arms cantilever scope mount. This is the standard height, 1.5 inches, and I decided that I want to try a higher mount for my scope. So I've got this BCM riser that puts my scope with its standard height mount at a more cool guy height, which is what all the new cool kids are doing. We've got a Vortex 1:8 first focal plane Strike Eagle. It's a pretty decent scope. I like it decently well. Got the Hollow Sun 407C up top on the primary arms 12 o'clock mount. I actually really like this setup. I was running a 45-degree red dot mount and I was getting just gas in my nose. More on that later as well. Let's see, what else do I have here? Of course, I got my Hami Prints scope cap. I like it very well. And then up here, I've got my 100 Concepts. I like it as well. It's got the little flash hider built in, or the kill flash, my bad, built in. And I have cut the middle out. I don't know if you can see that. And the reason I cut the middle out is because I couldn't see anything through this scope with that honeycomb. So I cut the honeycomb out, and now I can see super clearly. So really cool. Of course, I've got more of my favorite camo wrap all over it. Standard buffer tube. I do have an H3 buffer in here. Magpul stock, the one everyone loves, I guess. And then this is really cool. This is my Rebels Raiders new M81 camo sling, and I've got it on a little blue force gear U-loop there. I think that's everything. Oh, forgot the trigger. So this is a LaRue 2-stage trigger with a flat face. I forget what they call that, MBS2. Meticulously manufactured MMS. Who knows? It's LaRue. I like it. It's 99% as good as the Geisley. The one thing I wish this did have was a better reset. That's really all there is to it. Okay, so now let's get on to the meat and potatoes of this video. I'm going to be talking about my Dissipator setup and why I have a Dissipator setup now. I've filmed this video, I think 3 times now, and I've scrapped all the footage, so hopefully I actually do a good job with this one. So what I wanted to do was basically build a gun that didn't suck to shoot. This gun, before I swapped this barrel out, was absolutely terrible. It had a carbine length gas system and a 16-inch barrel. The dwell time was awful. It was overgassed even without a suppressor. Once I put the suppressor on, it was astronomically overgassed. It was shooting my brass out at like 12 o'clock. Like, no joke, it was awful. You'd shoot a couple rounds and then you'd have to like go cry in a corner somewhere. So it sucked. So, me being me, I went the absolute extreme direction with this, and I made a Dissipator build. Now what that is a 16-inch barrel with a rifle length gas system. That is typically more dwell time than you'd want for a 16-inch barrel, but it does make for a very smooth shooting gun. Now, the KAK Industries, or the KAK Industries, has a massive gas port drilled into this thing. Like, it's massive. It's 4 times the size of any other gas tube or gas hole, gas port. God, my words, man. So what that means is that you basically have to get an adjustable gas block to go with it if you want to be able to run suppressed and non-suppressed reliably. I really like this KAK gas block, and it also sticks out the front of this handguard, like 13.5-inch handguard. So it's actually really easy to adjust. But basically, you just either open or close off the gas tube by dialing that little Allen key right there. Super easy. It hasn't gotten carbon locked on me yet. 500 to 700 rounds in, I lost count.
I like it a lot. And basically what I found out is that most of the ammo I shoot, I just have to adjust it 6 clicks to the right or the left, depending on whether I'm suppressed or unsuppressed. So if I take this suppressor off, I can just open up the gas a little bit, 6 clicks, and they're very tactile, nice clicks. And I'll be ejecting at about 3 to 4 o'clock, and then I just close it back down when I put the suppressor on. Same deal, 3 to 4 o'clock. Now, if you guys noticed from this intro that I did, this huge, elaborate intro that took me several hours for this stupid gun, the gassing on this is great. It's very consistent. I did have one malfunction today, but I believe it's because I didn't seat the mag in quite well. That's on me. I have had very few malfunctions, and it has run very well, and I'm very, very happy with how this has turned out, gassing wise, that is. Now, not only do I get good gassing with this adjustable gas block and this very, very long gas system, but I also get the benefits of physics, I guess. The gas has had a lot of time to expand by the time it gets to my bolt carrier group, which means that I should have a lot lower pressures operating on these parts, and theoretically that should keep all my parts lasting a lot longer, and I have noticed that it's keeping them a lot cleaner. Prior to this system change, I was blowing all of the lubricant out within the first couple of rounds, and then my gun was completely dry. And I have found that I am retaining lubricant far, far longer into the day. So very cool. And this barrel is fully chrome lined, bore and chamber, very easy to clean. I like that a lot. It's got a 1 in 7 twist rate, so my 55 grain trash ammo that I shoot doesn't stabilize very well on this, and it's not very accurate. But with 62 grain and higher, 77 grain, 75 grain, Hornady and Remington PPU match line, this stuff right here. I've been getting pretty good groups, and honestly, I've been getting pretty good groups with 62 grain as well. About 2 to 2.5 MOA with a 62 grain, and a little bit less than that with 77 grain and 75 grain. So decently accurate. I wish it were better, but also it's the KAK Oem spec barrel, so it's not their highest end one. You know, I'm really pretty happy with it. So let's conclude this video. Super short, super easy, very cool rifle build in my opinion. It's probably subject to change, but I really like where I've landed. The Dissipator setup is super cool, really easy to adjust for both suppressed and unsuppressed usage. You guys can look up all the specs on this barrel and gas block and gas tube online. I'm not going to bore you with those details, and I'm also not a scientist of metallurgy, so I can't really tell you what all of it means anyway. I'm just a dummy with a camera and some guns. So anyway, thank you guys. We'll see you on the next one.